Hi, this is Bob Iaccino coming to you from the CME Group trading floor talking Dow futures. The Dow finished up over 0.75% today on a pretty good day, triple-digit gain for the Dow. It really had a lot of sort of fuel behind it when you saw the Chinese data last night, specifically the Chinese GDP. Chinese had a long list of data, most of them having to do with prices in consumer production, consumer product production, and the overall GDP number beat handily. China beat on every single economic release that was listed. There was about 7 or 8 that were due to come out last night, but the big winner was Chinese GDP, which came out up 6.9% with an expectation of plus 5.8. Now, you can say whatever you want about these particular numbers, whether they're accurate or not, whether they're due to big fiscal government infrastructure spending, which they are, but they're still there. That still means the use of steel, the use of copper, other commodities, and the rally of the global equity markets, including the Dow, obviously, when you see this kind of a number from the country that goes back and forth with the U.S. as having the largest economy in the world. Geopolitics, on the other hand, it seemed like the news cycle kind of slowed on geopolitics. While we definitely see an acceleration or amplification of the tension with North Korea, there was a failed missile launch over the weekend, but if you know anything about geopolitics, even a failed missile launch by North Korea, they learned something from that failure and they're able to improve. So it's still kind of a step toward provocation, and the U.S. Warships continue to move toward the Korean Peninsula. But the equity market news cycle seems to have turned away from that and more toward the earnings story. The Syria and Russia thing has died down quite a bit. North Korea is still in the news, but earnings is really the big news right now. Last week, we saw beats by the major banks. We haven't seen Bank of America yet. We haven't seen some of the technology companies yet, but leading the way is the financial sector. Banks continue to lead. We saw a beat this morning by M&T Bank, which is a regional bank. They beat handily. Expected EPS of 194, came out with about 216. We saw PNC on Friday beat as well on EPS, and we see Dow leaders coming from the financial sector as well as the defense sector. So to tie that in with the geopolitical point, 2 of the largest movers in the Dow during today's session were Boeing, which is a defense stock, even though it's an airline stock, but it's defense stock, and JP Morgan, which was up 1.5%. Goldman Sachs was up about 1.15%. So all of the banks and the defense stocks, with sort of the structure of the market we've got now, geopolitics and strong bank earnings, will drag the Dow higher if that continues. As long as the geopolitical tensions don't accelerate to the level of more strikes anywhere, earnings are expected to come out well. B of A is supposed to do well. And again, the tensions pushing the defense stock up will take the Dow with it. This is Bob Iaccino talking Dow futures from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago.